Painted
Morning.
Beanie. I forgot Navini was so generously going to take this over this morning. I was panicking this morning.
Oh, hey, no, if you're here, to go for it. I was going to, the one thing I was going to go over because I got asked about the Valentine form was just to show people how they can integrate that. So if you wouldn't
Awesome.
mind covering it in the first couple minutes, that would be awesome, Paige.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you. We can't see your beautiful face though, just so you know.
Okay. Good morning.
How's the air up there?
It's nice, but it's chilly.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple things I am going to cover. One is, let's see, there is a community now that Trish is putting videos in and updating things into. And so make sure that you go into that community. And there's one for Farminex and there's one for Tech Time because we can each, add to it. So that's that. And I can pop those links into the comments section here if you like. Let's see.
Thank you. Yes.
You bet. So I'm going to pop this into the chat for those two separate communities. Go ahead and sign into there. They're separate logins than the actually logging into Tech Time. So that's one thing I wanted to go over. And then also, let's see where I pinned this to the top, I think. These landing pages, we're in the process of really cleaning up because what happens is we have this big Farminex website, and that's great. But what if somebody really wants to focus in on and learn more about the income that's attached to it or have the income pro forma? So if that were the case, I would send them the revenue landing page, which is one of the pages in my website. So your websites, especially if it's cleaned up, and I'll show you how to do that after this, is going to have these, things behind them, behind path. So live webinar dash register for the webinar, link. Revenue is another one. Scanner lease I just added this morning as an example. So those are links for landing pages that you guys probably have. If not, you should have them very soon because that's one of the things that we're working on. So let me show you that where that is.
So will these links be populated into the communities page?
Um, they they can be populated into the communities if people just understand that it's their website or their domain and then the path. That's easy to
Right.
do.
Right. Just so we're aware of what's available, right? Because not everyone's
Right.
going to want everything. And
Right.
yet, if we were like, oh, because someone that just adopts Scanner recently, they're like, oh, I need the lease, and then we can go grab the page from there. That'd be
Correct.
awesome. Thank you.
Correct. Yep. So the lease is attached to um my Google Drive. So all of the links that are studies and that kind of stuff are all that link in your websites are attached to my Google Drive, just so you know. All right, so let me get into Health Today and show you. So you'd go into sites on the left, and the main Pharmanex page should be, you should see your name first, and then you'll see February, and then you'll see Pharmanex. So when they're all done, I think Navini, Trisha did 3 of them as of yesterday because there's a lot of things. Every time we preload it or load it in, we got to go in and attach all the buttons to it so all the buttons go to the right places. It doesn't automatically come over. So that
Right.
being
Okay.
said, as an example, you would go into, let's say you want to send a scanner lease to somebody. Well, when we clone it or copy it, there's usually a bunch of numbers on the end. So what you would do is you would go to that specific page and you go to settings. And once you go to settings, usually it's like blah, 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 blah. There's a bunch of stuff on the end. So I always clean it up like this and just make it, that's the path, and do update page. And I'm trying to keep all of these consistent so that now if you go to preview, and this is how you can put this in your notes, You go to preview and you copy that address bar at the top, and that's for mine, right? And then I copy it and then I put it in notes and I store that in notes on my phone so that when someone wants that, I also have made hotkeys out of it on my keyboard replacement. So, especially for ones I use often. And this looks like
Right. And for those of us that use boards, we can do the same thing, just create a Tech Time Links board. So
correct.
we can add that to our keyboard as well.
Yeah, great insight there. Okay, so that is that. And so now let me show you how to, you can, if you want to share it with somebody else on another team or on your team, if you want to share anything, you can make it a template. So what I mean by that is, let's say I wanted to share this whole website, okay, to upload it to the template section. I would go on the site section or the forms section or whatever section, an automation even, and I would click on the three dots on the right and I would click upload to website templates, upload to form templates, upload to automation templates. So now I'm going to name this February on the next website. And now I'm going to put it in health and wellness. And now I'm going to hit upload. So it's going to give you an option to save it as a draft. You can choose a thumbnail picture if you want to, but I'm not going to do that at this time. And then you just click on Publish Template. So this is going to publish it to every sub account that I have. And this is going to take a little while because it's 31 pages. I probably should have picked a shorter one or a form. Okay, so now it's out there. So now what you would do is you would go, let's say you are in the website section, you would click on new website. If you want to do the whole Valentine's Day funnel or website, you would do new website. You would do from templates, hit continue, my templates, and there it is right there. And then just hit continue. So that's how you publish templates for other people on your, in this group, or that you want to pick up a template that's already been done. All right. Okay. Anything else you guys want to go over today?
Just as a demonstration, would
Yeah.
you show them how to go to the form specifically, the Valentine, and
Yeah.
integrate it and just grab it just so they see it with the form?
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. So I'm going to go to forms and I'm going to go to add the form or copy
Add
the.
form.
Okay, so I'm going to add the form. So let's say I'm somebody that doesn't have this form yet. I'm going to go to Form Templates, hit Continue, go to My Templates, and I'm going to type in Valentine, and there's the form. And then I'm going to hit Continue. Now it's adding it to my forms. And forms have an option on a side of them that I'll show you too, that you need to direct to make it go when they hit the submit button. If you want it to go to a website or somewhere else. A lot of these forms, I think the Valentine form is an example where it just has a nice message. Thanks for filling out the form, and that's the cleanest way to go. Okay, so I know this is in here, so I'm going to show it to you. So what you would want to make sure you do is number one is click on this bell and make sure nobody else's email is in here, because sometimes when we copy forms, I know I'm guilty of this. and I have email too, and this is toggled on. Now I'm going to get every form that was filled out by maybe Navini's person if this is filled with my email address. So I toggle these off because we set up automations for that, and make sure you save it at the bottom. So just on some forms, not this one specifically, but on some website lead generation forms, or just double check that bell. And then over on the right-hand side, styles and options, we want to go to options on submit. So this is saying what happens when this person hits the submit button in this form. They're going to get a nice message. Well, if it has my name on the bottom of it, for example, which it doesn't, you're going to want to put your name in here if this is your form. All right.
Yes, with this one, I left it pretty generic, so they wouldn't have to clean it up. They could just drop in and implement. But thank you for pointing that out. That is super important.
You bet. All right. Any questions you guys have this morning, or things you want me to go over? Navini, great, great, great questions. Thanks. Everybody's always wondering some of these things, so I love that you ask a lot of questions. I really do. I didn't plan on matching the Valentine's Day campaign, but I did by accident.
You so are, and I appreciate that.
Same with websites. So the website that Navini did is amazing. It's gorgeous. Let's see. And that's called Valentine's, I think. Very pretty.
It's really just a landing page. But yeah, it was a group effort.
Yeah. So very nice. So let's say now I want to share this with you know, Sarah or whoever is not doesn't have this already. So another example is I'm going to go into Valentine's. I'm going to click on the three dots. I'm going to do upload to website templates. And I'm going to do Valentine's landing page. I'm going to put it in beauty and fashion. Upload. Publish. And Julie, do you have this by chance? Because if not, I'll load it.
You know what? Yesterday I did not have it.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna act as
Yeah.
Julie.
Sorry, Jules, you do have this, love. You didn't have the form. Julie has
Oh,
the
okay.
site.
Okay,
Sonia
I have
does
the
not
site.
have the site.
Sonia doesn't? Okay, I'll load Sonia's then.
And then either does Angela.
Okay. So just I'll use them as an example. Angela. Okay, so I'm gonna go new website from templates, continue. My templates, Valentine, continue. Now Angela will have it. And now I'll do
Awesome. Thank you.
yes, you bet. SON. There's Sonia. So I'm going to do new website from templates, continue. My templates, Valentine, continue. Now Sonia has it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What I haven't figured out though, Navini, and I was going to ask Trish about this today is, okay, so that Valentine's page, what domain is it going to?
So I have more than one domain.
Me too.
So I just redirected it to a second one. Another thing, ladies, a reminder to Angela and Sonia, you're
Yeah,
going to need to grab that form as Paige just showed us, right? Of the forms, the Valentine forms, because this Valentine landing page is connected to the form and it's not going to work if that form is not in your back office.
yep. So I'm going to show both of them how to do it. So now I'm in forms. I'm going to do add forms, go to templates, go to my templates, do Valentine form, double click on it and hit continue. And that's Sonia's. I'll go back to Angela's next. So that's a good point. You know, domain names are so inexpensive. And even if we did, if we bought a domain that's kind of generic, so we could apply it to every holiday promotion we're doing, then we can just attach whatever holiday funnel that we build to that domain name. So if we do it, whatever the domain name is, we can always change it out every time there's a holiday. I think that's a good, wise idea for future.
Yeah, so what I have a Pharmanex site and then I have a, New Skin Social Products non-Pharmanex site.
Yep,
And so all the new beauty is that second domain, the beauty. So all this is it's not even a separate site, it's just another slash page. So all our holidays can just be a slash page on that site, but it's just not loaded onto that main website.
exactly. So they're landing pages that are attached to that. I vacillated going back and forth. So since I built the Tech Time website, which is mytechtime.org, I've added a lot of advanced features on there recently. So check that out. It's not just the introductory stuff anymore. So that being said, um, I vacillate going back and forth between using boards because I'm trying to wean myself a little bit away from boards. Um, but I still think about, how we can use boards if we've got boards and, it's just, I think it's a habit of using boards because we're so used to it.
My
And,
ultimate goal is to do everything I need to do from here.
and automated.
Exactly. And I love that this is so multifaceted that you really, every time you think, oh, I'm doing something else somewhere else, even with boards, to your point, it
Right.
can totally be done from here. The
Yeah.
only pro that boards has at the moment is the keyboard feature. So that's
Yes.
why we use it as opposed to the keyboard shortcuts, right?
Yeah. Great point. Um, there
So
was some,
Navini, this form that Paige was just putting into their account, so that's what you and I were literally trying to do yesterday, but it wasn't in here yet, correct?
Correct. Yes, but now
Okay.
it's loaded. So any new people from now on can just go, like Paige just showed us, grab the template and load it themselves.
Okay, that is perfect. Now, I know how we're trying to get away from boards and come here. You know how like I was doing the VIP content. Is there a way that we could do it here as opposed to in boards, or is that just something that has to stay in boards?
So we definitely can do it here. We'd create a separate landing page for that, more like a community page. And I haven't explored communities like Paige has, so maybe she has more insight to it. So Paige with communities, so what Julie's talking about is a centralized area on our AKA boards, right, where we have posts and assets for teams to use that they can just go in and pull. Would you recommend doing that as a kind of new community for content, or how would you do that?
yes, I would. I'm going to be using communities more, but it is, and somebody brought up a good point. I think it was, who was it? Someone I talked to recent, Carrie. Carrie brought up a good point that they got into this other platform because they have people, and I'm having the same issue. WhatsApp, Messenger, regular text, email, all these different communication forms. And so these communities are outside of all of those things. Boards is another one, that outside of those things and YouTube channels, is it's where we can put all of this stuff. So we can definitely do a VIP section. We can definitely post things in there. Different people can contribute to it, which is great. So that's and Trisha's really good at using it. And I told her about it yesterday, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I put in stuff all the time in there for another client." I'm like, "Yay!" You know. So that's great. This is y'all's call. So anything else you want me to review?
This call was being recorded, right, Paige?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. Because I know as soon as the call started, my granddaughter woke up and she's been sick, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm missing what you're talking about. So I'll go back and rewatch it.
No worries. Constantly improving. So, um, and I just when I think I have this all tightened up as tightly as possible, this is kind of the newest version, with, like I said, landing pages with the, all cleaned up. I added the scan release this morning. I worked on a nice, new health assessment with Tom that I liked a lot, so I incorporated it in here. And I realized I had two health assessments, so I changed that. The other day, I had Curtis, who had sold basically LifePak for me, or LifePak Nano, to a realtor. I had, the opportunity to just send him a landing page, and so the landing page that I sent was the VIP customer one, which is that would be for a doctor's office that has a patient, or it would be for someone that's going to a trade show, and this is what it looks like. So I just said, I sent them this landing page, physician recommended. It's explaining my site links are a little closer to the top, you know, of good, better, and best. And these can be customized if you prefer putting collagen in here too. Great. I might add collagen to this just to make it one more thing, but I'm trying to simplify it. And then so that's the landing page, and then they'll get a pop-up, and the pop-up is the health assessment. So the health assessment looks like this now. And we put in this right here is what changed, and I love it because people think $1 a day, $2 a day, as opposed to monthly. So what's your monthly budget for vitamins or supplements? Or I think we said it a little differently. What are you looking to, what are you willing to spend on your health or something like that? And so some of our products, I think I even have a $5 to $7 a day version of this, but that's what's changed is the day amount and then health as well. So the sky's the limit.
I love this. And this is such alignment page. So I just got off a call with Andrew from corporate. We're talking about India, and
Yeah,
that's exactly the thought process they're going into with India. It's not
yeah,
about monthly, about daily budgets. So thank you for incorporating that.
absolutely, absolutely. And again,
I
like,
love that. Just because people are, when they see, because our Pharmanex products, like you said the other day, are higher priced. So when people look at it this way, it puts it more into a perspective. And I love this.
yeah, I agree. I agree. If you having a problem spending $2 to $5 a day on your health, you only get one body. And a lot of times we bring it back to oil changes. You get, you know, do you change the oil to your car, what, before the light goes on or after the light goes on? You know, how many cars have you had in your life? We only get one body, so really talking about that, let's take care of it proactively.
It's less than a cup of coffee a day, which everyone spends almost twice that, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Paige, can I have you? Okay, so you know where you have the three products up there?
Yeah.
So all of when we go to our own page,
Yeah.
everything on our page, we can go in and we could, do things too, and it's not going to mess up any of your stuff, correct?
Correct. You can customize it.
Okay,
You know,
because on the other platform, I know at one point I'd went in and did something a step ahead or something, and it affected everybody's, and then I got tattled or yelled at.
right.
So I wanted to make sure that, and then also Can you show like Angela, for instance, because she didn't get a lot of help on the other platform,
Yeah.
like that page you were just on and you had the 3 products and it said shop here. Can you show her how quickly how she needs to go in and add her my site personally
Custom
to that
value.
since it's yeah.
You bet. Absolutely. All right. So in our accounts on the left-hand side, and I look at this left-hand side as a file cabinet. So on the left-hand side, this is very logically set up. On the left-hand side are all these tabs, and then on the top is the file folders. But custom values is in settings. So if you go to custom values and you see all these AP24, youth, all this kind of stuff, your custom values are attached to your specific My Site. So if I had your My Site link in here, which I'm not sure that I do, I will show you mine just to kind of drive this home a little bit to make it simply. This is super important that you guys go in and you add your My Site links to it. So I'm going to go into settings and I'm going to go into My Site, custom values. It's just easier to go. This is my site link. So I'm going to paste it in a new address bar at the top because that's how you get to my site with the product of toothpaste, for example. So I have mine set up so you can search for other things. I also have it set up for member pricing. Member pricing is important when we sell PharmaNext products. Very, very, very important. So toggle it to member pricing and then use your Stella links for the retail pricing of the skincare products. So now I'm going to do a search for youth. It's going to find me age lock youth. There it is right there. I'm going to click on it like I'm a customer. And there's a specific link in the address bar now that I'm going to do Control C for copy. Now I'm going to go back over to Tech Time. I'm going to go in custom values and then I'm going to type in youth. Okay, so, and then I'm going to click on 3 dots. And when you don't have it yet, the value will be blank. I'm going to do edit custom value. And then I'm going to paste that custom value right there. And then hit update. So what that does is in the sites or in the email automations or in any of the stuff that we have, when someone goes to your page, like this customer page at the bottom, and they click on the buy button, it goes to you. You're my site. So now I'm going to pretend I'm a customer. I'm going to do age lock, shop age lock youth. Boom, now it's going to my site and they can buy directly from there without skipping a beat.
Thank you, Paige.
You're welcome. Another thing it's super important to do you guys, is to go in and connect your calendars and put that in
Thank you,
custom.
Paige. I'll play with everything later.
Okay. All right. So go and connect your calendars and you do that in the integrations tab. The I'm gonna go back to the training. mytechtime.org. Everything is step by step, connecting your calendars, doing integrations. So if you follow this, you can't go wrong. Connecting your My Site links is right there. These are some new things that are added. Okay. Any other questions?
Hi, Paige. I have a question. I'm
Sure.
brand new. My name's Bobby. I'm with Sarah.
Hey, Bobby.
And you can answer this later if you need to. I know you guys are further along than I am. Um, I'm not even able to log in. Like it's not letting me set up my login, and I clicked like lost password or whatever,
Okay.
and it just keeps making me hit the reset password again and again and again.
That login is funky. I don't know.
Okay, so it's not just me.
It's not just you, it's a pain in the butt. But once you get in for the first time, you're in like Flint.
Okay, this is
Uh,
so cool, by the way.
thank
Like,
you.
thank you.
You bet. You bet. So, if you want to jump on with me after this on Zoom, I
Okay,
can walk you through it. You have to be on a computer where you can share your screen, and we'll
great.
just put you in there. And
Okay, thank you.
yep, same with Casey, I think.
Paige, mine was doing that too. So what I did is I saved up in my favorites up on my favorite bar.
Uh-huh.
So whenever it asks me to password and change it, it lets me do the same password every single time. But instead of doing that, I just click on my favorites bar to tech time and it takes me right to my page.
Okay. But that's after you got logged in for the first time, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
This is Casey. I was able to log in successfully, so I think I'm okay as far as that goes, but I agree, this is amazing.
Thank you. Casey, so there's a couple of things that that are part of the issue there. One of the things is that it asks me when you're brand new to verify your email and to verify your phone number. And as I understand, I did not do that intentionally on yours or on Bobby's, because they said if I don't do that proactively, then you're able to log in just like you're normally supposed to. So that seemed to have worked for you.
I did get a text last night, but I didn't do anything with it. Where did it go?
Bobby,
What-
it'll be definitely in your email and definitely
Yeah,
the day you signed up. So if
okay.
you don't see it, check your spam folder and it'll be asking you to verify your email address.
Okay.
Once you do that, I think it should trigger instructions to log in. So try that first, because I'm trying to not verify your emails for you so that
Okay.
it works like it's supposed to.
Right.
Paige, I have one more question. Last week or Wednesday, you helped me get my phone number.
Yep.
And then we had to stop because for some reason it wasn't going through. Did that ever get resolved, or do I need to do something on my end? I forgot to even ask you about that.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. So something that's changed is that the United States uh, people had to do an A2P 24, AP224. I forget the acronym. Anyway, it's a regulation, but now the requirement is you must have a EIN number for your business. They're not letting people do it just on Social Securities alone. And to me, that's because a lot more people are doing text message marketing, and they don't want, just average people doing it. So if you do not have an EIN, an S corporation or an LLC, and you're doing this full time, you definitely want to move in that direction, um, and get one of those first. If you don't have one, you can't have an A2P number. So that's another reason to get one, besides tax write-offs and everything that goes along with it.
Okay, so what direction would you recommend I go to, the LLC or?
Well, I think my inclination has always been to do an S corporation, but I'm liking the LLCs for less paperwork, less stuff lately. And I haven't talked to Curtis about it lately, but I'm thinking LLC. I mean, I'm thinking LLC now. If anybody else has experience with an LLC versus an S corporation, I'd love to, hear your opinion on it. I have an S corporation, but
Yes, way less paperwork and tax submissions as well. It's just easier.
LLCs,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think they're less expensive too.
Yes, they are.
Okay, thanks, Navini.
They do vary from state to state though, so you'll just have to, make sure to look it up under your state, ladies, because we're both in Florida, so I can speak to that.
Yeah.
So I actually have no further questions for today, believe it or not.
Wow. What? Are you feeling okay, Navini?
I know. I'm doing five things at once here. However, and I feel bad for Tom because we just were talking about Valentine's and social. That's where we stop. However, for next week, may I add an agenda item?
Sure.
Because, especially now that we have the lease agreement and all of that stuff on Farmanex, for those of us that haven't really ran with Farmanex previously, or the scanner specifically previously, can you go through those pages and the method of how you sign them up? Because I know that you personally sign them up and take their money and all of that. I would love, and Sarah as well, because we had a discussion about this, love for you to go over that so we can kind of follow along and duplicate as well, please.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
So interestingly enough, on that note, couple things. One, I was on a plane and Navini graciously took over the Wednesday night host job and helped Sierra as well. And I thought if you didn't get a chance to see it, that webinar turned out really, 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 really good. There's always some people that are ridiculously skeptical. So we had one of those, and I got some feedback there that they wanted to see references. And this person that had this person on the webinar did not send them to our website first. So she came with no background knowledge about all the science we have at nauseum that is on our website, all the questions that she's now shooting her and she's now shooting to me that are all on our website. I have a new distributor myself that's under one of my other distributors that's got all these questions and all the answers, if it were me, are on our website, and so I'm really, really pushing that people use the websites because that's what it was invented for, to leverage time. This is all about leveraging time. So I encourage you to definitely, before you send anybody to the webinar, tee them up nicely, send them to the website. And then when they have, as part of the process, oh, by the way, we have a webinar on Wednesday night. Do you want me to see if I can, would you like me to send you a link? So make it like it's something they have deserved by going to our website and wanting to go further along in the sales continuum, not just blast out the webinar to every Tom, Dick, and Harry on LinkedIn or wherever, because we really need to go through a process, and it's a slower process because it's it's selling a $2,000 package basically. So of course it's going to take some time, right? The more expensive the package, the longer the sales cycle. But I've sped up the sales cycle for you by giving you guys these websites to use.
And I love that about the websites and the landing pages specifically because we're not telling them, right? It's
Right.
resources that are professionals in their field so specifically, and the Yale studies and everything else. So it's interesting that that question came up.
Wow. Yeah, just wow. No credibility. She started Googling everything, and didn't find anything, and I'm like, oh, well, she didn't start with a website. So
She's filtering herself out of the business, is what she's doing.
yes, exactly. And that's what I said to this person. I said, you can't save everybody. We'd like everybody to be able to get this, but I'm sorry, not everybody's going to, and that's okay.
Yeah, and in reverse, what I've really noticed with conversations in the last 2 weeks is that when they're a fit, it's almost too easy. Like I got nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I should be doing more, and they're selling themselves,
Yeah,
because we're not doing it the traditional way. So it's just fabulous. Thank you, thank you.
you bet, you bet. All right, guys, with that, I'm going to go visit the fam.
Well, thanks for being here.
You bet. Have a great rest of your day.
You.
All right, bye-bye.